The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Darkeport. Episode 43, Bone and Starlight, Part 1. Griff encounters an unearthly figure in the rain, one who has an unforgettable effect on him. The mere sight of this hitherto unknown person quickens him, the ecstasy of his chosen quintessence rising inside of his body. The dragon-blooded boy chases after the figure who first disappears through a doorway of fog, then flees from him on foot. Although Griff is swifter, the starlight-haired figure manages to hide and escape him. Devon and his older half-brother Mohi go to the public sparring pit at the latter's insistence. Mohi was concerned that Devon had already become timid, as displayed in the overly cautious way he had made landfall off the cutter that brought them both to Jaramentum. After a brief sparring session, Indra Starcep appears, alluding to the urgent business that will lead the elder brother away. Devon has a decision ahead of him as to his own path. Shortly after dusk, the Lady Vale addresses the assembled citizens of Jaramentum in a passionate declaration that the city would never be assaulted by the Utini again for as long as I draw breath. The lady was able to force this concession from the ferocious Utini by taking the head of their chief of chiefs in personal combat. She also averred that Titus Invictus had indeed remained unstoppable on a field of battle, only to have yielded to that final opponent of life that all must, time itself. Young Lord Titus finished the oration, vowing that the dream would survive all trials to come, as it always had. Afterward, at Livia's urging, Titus carries her to meet with the large faction of Death Tamers gathered at the city's gates. Their spiritual leader proves to be none other than the small, uncanny figure that Griff had chased at the beginning of the evening. The title of this person is Beloved, as they are the voice of a strange goddess here in the world of muscle and blood. During this meeting, Beloved Trislily offers to put a substantial force of skeletal warriors in service of Jaramentum's defense, while benefiting from the shelter its lord can provide in exchange. Titus pledges to give them answer at dawn, as he must now ponder the grave implications of getting in bed with those who wield such a terrible power as an instrument of war. Nilishli feels a strong, calloused hand touch the small of her back in a gentle fashion. Griff has returned after all. A long, roving conversation between them ensues, with the formidable Manabender asking her to come with him on his deadly quest to resurrect his younger brother. Ultimately, Nilishli agrees, and one by one says her goodbyes to the rest of the Fellowship. She ends this by walking with Titus to Aurelius's field, her birthplace, where the two share an intimate discussion about her past, present, and possible future. Valet Nilishli, creation of Tezcatli. You will be missed.
Welcome, faraway friends. You have found yourself once more at the Port of Dark. Yay!
Darkeport. Yeah.
So, I hope all is well. We have a, I am at a loss right now.
We have friends over at Constructed Chaos.
We absolutely do. I was stuck. Okay, so, Alex, Morgan, thank you so much for being with us as you continue to be our sister stream.
Love you.
And we love you guys. We learned from y'all, and we are delighted to be taking this journey. Toby, you want to pick up with Eldritch?
Thank you so very much to Eldritch Foundry for their continued support. We really appreciate the fun things that we can create with their wonderful tool. Check them out on Kickstarter for all their color printing majesties. And we have a fun little commercial in the intermission you can check out.
We do.
So please do that.
We have a new proud entry in Briarwick. Candles. Yay!
Yeah, we do.
So it's a joint collaboration between Briarwick and Darkeport. On the new and updated labels, you can actually see that. And those candles now live on the YouTube store.
Very cool.
Yeah. If you want to go to our main channel and go to the store, or sometimes on some interfaces, they are also underneath. We will see how that unfolds.
It'll take it to our shop, and it'll get it eventually to where you can check it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it with that. That's kind of still in process.
Let us know if you have any issues.
Yes, please. And YouTube has some rather arcane hoops you have to jump through, but we'll get there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you, Miss Kate Glass, the founder and CEO over there.
She's awesome.
She's really, really cool. Really good human. All right.
In the shop, obviously we have the Ascend dice. I have not had a chance to use it in character, but this floating dice is pretty cool, and the new version's out there. And if you like elemental pens that allow you to do some really cool encryption and decryption sort of stuff, then go check them out as well.
The shop of many things.
The shop of many things.
Right.
Things.
And I believe we are ready for a candle. Yeah.
Allow me.
Oh my gosh, I get to join.
As the mistress of the candle is restored to her rightful
Candle of
I was about to say we always had it perfect without the Donnie thing, and you add the Donnie thing.
I have to replace him. I have to like bring in the soul of Donnie.
I'm excited to see what kind of soul
who's
fights you guys
that?
are gonna have once
Nobody.
he's here.
It's just a neutral.
Donnie's
observer.
turn. A little shorter.
Just a little
Just
shorter.
a neutral observer. So we love Donnie. We miss Donnie. Donnie is out of state on business right now, but he will be back next session. So yay!
Love you, Donnie.
And
Break a leg.
a revived Tatiana has rejoined us at the table. Yay!
She's alive.
Yes. So thank you for continuing to be a warrior, hun, and showing up when it's not always the easiest thing. Thank you. I and the rest of us truly appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And there might just be a little wrinkle in the storyline. That's happening.
No, I can't.
Oh, Sydney, you were in here.
Oh my gosh, hi.
This whole
Nice
time.
to see you. Nice to see you. Hi, everybody.
Where'd you come from?
And that will unfold.
Serious.
Taking us
boy.
over to our MVP from last session. So for reasons that will become evident next week, we are not going to have a most valuable player. So I had the difficult decision of what to do about that. Oh. And because we had one person vote for Marcus and one person vote for Grip, I think the thing that I'm going to do is say
Give it to Marcus.
is to give it to Wesa.
Yeah. Woo! Where's that?
Hey, Sydney.
I'm going to. It's a hell of a way to.
Yeah, give it to
You know
me.
what? I
Yeah.
need to write your name down on the MVP. You're official now.
Everything's becoming real. Everything's
Official.
life is not real right now.
Yep, congratulations. And you now have another morale point and have one MVP one more time.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Goodness
Woo!
gracious. That's
Marcus.
incredibly generous.
You, Havoc, really enjoyed your role play with Trisley, and thought that it was important for the story. I concur. And we will see how a certain something unfolds for our longtime viewers. This would be Marcus's 10th MVP point.
Wait.
Nice.
You did give one to Marcus.
Yeah, I did give
Oh,
it.
yes!
Oh,
Because
sweet,
we're not,
thank you.
because
And
we're not
none to
gonna
waste.
we're not gonna have it. now, had you said Okatla, that's a different
Oh,
thing.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because we're not gonna have an MVP next week. So I don't want to, and that's not on at all. That's a decision I'm making, and also a decision because Tawny's not here today and can't be because of work. So yeah, that's how we do these things. Which, all that to say, to the highlight, to the no doubt highlight of the evening, there's a little journal entry.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. I feel like Wesa has a thing or two to say.
Perhaps. Okay. I sit at my altar with the hair of ghosts, Merrick, Jason, and myself. These bits of us are all that's left now of what we once were. I intended formal ceremony with them, to pray, release, align, but for now I can only vigil. The room I sit in is the same, and yet it is nothing at all like I remember it. I am suddenly ancient, and this place is from a child's tale I have outgrown. My fingers touch the familiar, and they are rough like relics. Only my blades and armor resonate back as belonging to me. I can't yet find myself beyond them. My brother, who I have longed to find many winters now, has been delivered to me on a silver platter, and it stings where I thought it would soothe. I should be happier to reunite with him, my own brother, but I am not. How can I entertain celebration when war looms and carnage surrounds my feet? What are my girlish dreams of family when my friends are gone? And when he flashes his buoyant grin, I feel he knows nothing at all. How old I stand next to my own twin. The mirror of him is a blow I could not have predicted. It is clear I have lost so much. Why must I be reminded this way? So physically, so blatant, so cruel. I thought finding each other would make me whole, but it has only reminded me of how tattered my history is, opening wounds I messily bandaged long ago. Hearing of my father turns my stomach, his betrayal stamped across my brother's cheer. I have yet to even process the loss of my sword sister. This will take many moons to sort through, and who I am is more of a concept than reality. What is clear is that I am not the same girl who left on that ship. I return with my poison tasting more acrid in my mouth, my sweetness burnt and dead. Yet change is inevitable. This moment must pass, and hair grows back.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Tatiana, there's a line in there I need to hear again for my own edification right now
Okay.
about stamped by his cheer. Can you find that one for me? Father's betrayal?
Hearing of my father turns my stomach, his betrayal stamped across my brother's cheer.
There it is. Okay. Folks, there's a reason I say Tatiana is the best writer amongst us. And that's not false modesty on my part. I can write. That's extraordinary. Okay. You are there. Maya, the Leptis Terrier, that strong-willed, just obnoxious, loving, tenacious animal, won't violate the sanctity of your space right now. And she's sitting on her haunches, looking a little grayer than you remember around the muzzle, and just holding space for you, maybe. And what are you doing? Where are you at? As you're back in this room that is some girl's room now, an alcove.
Just kind of meditating on the forms of what is. She's contemplating that perhaps she needs to go and stay in the keep. from now on. Unclear.
Sitting behind Rutilius's desk, as you bid adieu to your sword sister, felt like the only thing that made sense that entire wretched day. And of course, there's just a curtain, so Lemonius, long-suffering, beautiful, strong Lemonius, simple, unchanged. Waisa?
Lemonius.
Sorry, some boy or man came, and he wants to talk to you. I told him that the bakery was closed, but he said something fancy, and I don't know, I just thought maybe you should talk to him.
That's all right. Let him in.
Okay. I'm real glad you're back.
It's good to see you.
It was empty. Okay, I'll go get him. Do you want anything? Do you want a tart or a pie or anything?
Yes. Surprise me.
Okay. Thank you, Grimm, for 5 gifties. Yay!
Thank you so much.
And Tiana Smith gave us a $10 super chat. I hope I'm doing that right. Yay!
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you so much.
Okay, you can come in, but she's really tired, so don't stay too long, all right? I have no intention. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then you don't hear even your ears. Actually, your ears detect a whisper across the packed earth as Mohi, your half-brother, glides across the front room. And then he stands, again, the same as he did in your office, at a respectful distance. He does not cross the threshold into your space, but stands at the curtain. He has his war staff, but the war staff is behind his back, and he has both of his hands on it. For someone as muscular as him, it's unusual for them to have that sort of suppleness combined with it. And he gives you a deep nod. Blessed Eves, how should I address thee? Waisa? Sister? What was your title here in the city?
You may call me sister.
I do not take that as granted. It is generous of you in this moment. I am sad to say I may not see you again. We share the same father, a man I now understand you have never even laid eyes on, except as a newborn, of course which you have no memory. He is not a good person. He lies, he cheats, and yes, sometimes he kills. He has done very well for himself in Zahar, as you might imagine, as the direct consequence of these disturbing proclivities. My brother, I love him. He is worthy of our blood. But sometimes I worry that he has too rosy of a picture of his time there. Maybe not. Perhaps I do not do him justice. I think he's going to stay. Do you hate him for this?
No, I don't hate him. Yet.
Understood.
If our father is so terrible, how are you both good?
Probably because he abandoned me. And seeing the end of his life coming, he swindled Devrin. I was not raised by him. I was raised by a far better woman, a far better human, a woman named Shani, the little lion. She is my master, not in a slave sense, but my teacher. She has taught me the way of the open fist. She said that I have considerable natural talent.
What are your talents?
to do things that other men consider impossible.
Can you speak more plainly?
I see, sister, your time in Geramentum. He smiles, but a little kind of a grimace. I kicked him hard enough when we first met that he flew into the air, slammed into the ceiling, and fell back down to the ground.
Our father?
It wasn't my best kick. Shani can dismember 20, 30 men at a time, but not the way that your lord would, with her bare hands. It's different. From what little I've seen of you, the way you move, you probably had that same potential in you. But I see that your chosen abilities were channeled differently.
Did you know of my existence?
No. No, until 3, 4 winters back, I had not even met Devrin. And of course he lied, told me that you died at birth. I knew that there had been twins, and then eventually came out between myself and my brother, and the whole web got undone, but it took a while. As I said, he is adept. And for all my abilities, sister, I am still young, and I know that.
Do you think he deserves to die?
I am trying a different path from my teacher. She would say yes, but that is not worth the effort, and for her she would be right. For me, I'm trying to bring into this world something that does not yet exist. That where there is ignorance, there is knowledge. Where there is war, there is peace. And where compassion is considered strength, the true strength of a person. I hope that makes sense to thee. I will fight, and I even kill if I have to. But life is a precious gift, and not one to be squandered lightly. In that context, only if I had to. I'm glad that Devrin left, because that day might have been coming. Does that answer your question?
Somewhat. But I will take it.
Of the 3 of us, I think you are the hardest.
What do you mean?
Devrin is the wind, turbulent sometimes, buoyant others, cheerful, easily. Perhaps some have likened me to an enduring flame, one that burns neither too bright nor too little. I can survive much and spread. You, though, when I look at you, I see pillars of stone, the foundation of a pyramid, a crushing weight, and yet you endure.
It is something for you to meet me now. Once I was like water.
He has to think a moment. Taluk, yes?
Aye.
But no longer.
Aye.
If we do not meet again, it is one of only 2 regrets I have in my life, that I will not get to know you, and vice versa.
You are honorable, brother.
Not yet, but I'm getting there.
Please take a treat before you go.
Normally, Shani would say these are distractions, but I think sometimes it is needful to mark the moment with something we would normally never do. No?
Agreed.
As they say here then, Vale.
Ballet.
Devrin, you were left at the field. You had things to do. Your brother said he had a short errand to run. Where do your steps take you? And you know your sister is in her deep process right now.
I wanted to speak to my brother before he left, so I would have made sure.
Okay, you can meet up with him later. Yeah. Okay, so you just kind of get your bearings around the town. There's
Check out the Kithki. They seem to be more aligned to kind of my whim right now, as far as good spirits go.
Okay. They're some of the ones that you get. You're at the demarcation. At the intermission, we'll grab our map. But so basically that the sparring pit is kind of dead center, and as you go north, you get into Kithki territory, broadly speaking, and then south, humans. East is kind of a mixed bag. So you wander north a bit. You're on the outskirts of the Kithki Arbor, and you see a pavilion.
He's skipping. He's just cheerful.
Okay.
He is.
You see some of the Kithki who have been whose spirits have been lifted by Marcus's essentially miracle, and by the sober but like definitive speech that Lady Vale and then Titus finished. They catch sight of you, and they kind of smile, they nod, they start moving Kithki, so they kind of start moving their bodies.
Do you want to see magic?
Oh, always.
Have you ever seen a Formati game? The Formati game.
No, I don't even know what that is. Does it taste good?
You see this card? The only diamond. The other ones are black.
Okay.
Try to pick out which one it is.
Okay.
He gathers them up.
Okay.
Let's try.
Let's see that one, but I'm not sure. So he points at one, and then he tries to flip another one.
And he does all of them and goes, "It's right there." He does a sleight of hand. He pulls it behind his ear.
Okay.
You've missed it.
You have a high enough slide. Actually, because his compatriots are watching, go ahead and make a roll on that.
All right.
Him, you get.
A 20.
Okay. So it almost literally just kind of floats out of nowhere, and there's a rather dour. I realize the word is technically pronounced door, but it's important to be able to parse these things out. So there's a rather dour deeper fern who's watching, and as it floats on out, he's like, huh, because it looks like it just manifested there. And
Cheer up.
the Dushine fellow, he's like, "Oh, I'm plenty cheer. Do you have something I can take with me? Oh, I need to spread your cheer."
Oh. Pulls out a card,
Okay.
like the spare card.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, but this has some of you in it, right?
He takes out a quill.
Okay.
He writes something on there.
Okay.
Signature. Just
Okay.
Signs a card.
And he runs
Is
around.
that good enough?
Yeah, just watch. And he says, "Okay, Els, come on over here. This is the happy card." And he runs over and starts trying to smack him with a card and pester him. And they have some inane little Kithki chase around. They're like 4 or 5 of them. You can't really tell if they're children or adult Kithki. Like they're maybe adolescent. They kind of seem somewhere in between.
It is very good to see Kithki like you. The ones I've seen are not so happy.
Yeah, but that's because outside of here, they're kind of, usually turn into like slaves or pets.
He's running around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't tire yourself out so fast.
As the 5 of them go.
And I also want to obviously look for some merchants. I'm curious about the trade here.
Ooh, I left my dice in the other room.
do you
Toby,
need?
can I borrow one from you?
What do you need?
Just die 20. You don't have any dice over there, Sydney.
Oh yeah, I
There are
don't.
no dice.
No, there's 0 dice here.
And so what area of town am I in right now?
You're on the outskirts of the arbor.
The arbor?
Yeah, but
Okay.
so there's that long trail, and then you have the heart of the arbor that's near to the keep.
Mm-hmm.
So you're at the beginning of that, and there's the wedding pavilion. So you're like at the wedding.
Do I see any homes at all?
Oh yeah, they're around here. They don't really register as homes to you though.
Do I recognize them as anything?
You recognize them as collections of trees.
Trees. You have
Wisdom.
beautiful trees here.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we kind of have to. You know, that's where we live. See, there's a door, there's a window, and as you're looking around, you can see it. But
You live in trees. Oh,
inside, yeah, it's really nice. That way, the Magna Mater's always around.
the Magna Mater.
The Great Mother,
Oh, your spirit.
the Spirit, yes.
Oh, a spirit.
Oh, the one who breathed life into all life when it started. You know.
I've never heard of Magna Mater.
Well, now you have. Lucky day.
Have you heard of Wira?
Wira? No.
Yeah.
Is that your mom?
She's of the wind.
Okay. I think that's your mom.
He smiles.
Perhaps.
And the other four kind of nod sagely as though this makes perfect sense to them.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all do here? You Gifki.
And the more sober, deeper fern L that he had addressed as L says, "Not what we're supposed to be doing. Come on. There's plenty of wood we have to gather. We got the waterwoods back. We need to be reinforcing things. Look, I appreciate you stopping for our friends and everything, but there's a war on, in case you haven't heard."
I have not heard. I just got here to the city.
Well,
The war's over. No, we took care of.
that was a skirmish. No. Those fat fucks from the south that are coming up from Leptis Regium. They're going to be talking in a few days.
They come in here.
Hell, you're so nasty. Hey, if you're hungry, we can have witch's snack pretty soon. We already ate dinner, but you know, I'm always down for a good witch's snack. So why don't you come? And he says, "Do you see that? I guess to your Dirathy eyes, there'd be 4 trees down and to the left. Just knock on that third branch up, and we'll hear you inside. We'll let you in if you're hungry."
Knock on wood.
Of course. He dashes straight over there.
Okay. In a torch. We have in a torch. Okay.
He's literally there. What do you mean? He actually. What do you mean? And they hear it really loudly.
Okay.
In a torch. I'm hungry now. Food.
And the deeper fern says, "Yeah, well, as our Graham says, life is 9 parts wanting and 1 part getting."
Where are the merchants here? What towns? Side of town?
They kind of look at you and they shrug. One of them, who hasn't spoken yet, points northeast of where you're at.
He just takes off.
Okay. Sometime. No, I want to do that. Okay, so you're off there. Let me get over to Grip.
Real quick, so we missed to do it. You want to go ahead and do my hit points?
You ready? Yeah, do it.
Hit points, hit points, hit points.
You want a 4 or better? You want a 4 or better?
6.
4 or better?
6.
We're getting a 1.
Yeah, you won.
That stings. Okay. Plus your con.
You're so tough.
Those are your old ways. Forget them.
But you do have like crazy constitution, no?
True. Perks of being a little dragon boy. Sorry, carry on.
Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing me to my room. I appreciate that. It probably wasn't necessary, but the Lady Olivia sighs as you're deep in the keep, and she's been leaning on Griff pretty heavily to get there. So, sorry, be on her right side. So you don't know if it's her room, if it's her chambers, if it's her study. It's late, but you get the sense that this woman is no stranger to burning the midnight oil.
But in terms of her state of exhaustion and pain, like, is she like wearing down, or is she like seeming like she has more to say and more she wants to do?
She's wearing down.
Yeah, that's what.
She pauses, and Griff, Domina, I know that you'll have this terrible character flaw of blaming thyself for everything, and it was my fault. It was my decision. I thought I was safe. I was wrong. You were right. I should have let you take his head the moment that he came in. I was blinded by ideas of honor and rehabilitation. You're too good of a person, Domina. That's why he took you unawares. He just snorts derisively. Good has nothing to do with it. I'm desperate and looking for alliances everywhere. And I wish to the gods that you weren't leaving, but I know you are. He kind of looks away, ashamed. You did well for Germantum while you were here, and I owe you and a few others my life. You don't owe me shit. That's for me to decide. I wish you well on your journey. And she reaches out decisively. This patrician woman who in an alternate timeline is being groomed now to be an empress. She takes his shoulder and she actually spins him around. He lets himself. And without any other words, she draws him to her and hugs him. Touches his cheek. Make it count for everything that it should. Yeah, I will. No. Make it count for everything that it should. I know where you're going. Vale. Vale. We won't see each other again. She just nods. Rest well, Agrippa. And you see she moves and her hand is actually trembling now as she's trying to open the door.
I'll go over. I'll open the door. I'm not gonna say anything.
She just wearily nods and you see her stumble in. Please let the aunties know with deep regret, I think I'm too weak to have jam tonight. And she's done. She doesn't have anything more, and she just kind of stumbles over to her bed and flops over.
Just make sure she's actually
Alone.
on that, like on her side or whatever. Look around for any like servant or anything like that.
Griff makes a face. There are a few aunties. Griff looks around and then gestures. There's a ripple, and you hear on the other side of the door an iron bar slide into place. Come on, kid. Let's get the hell out of here.
And
And he starts walking.
I'll fall in a step behind him as soon as we get reasonably out of earshot of the room. So you're the mana bender.
Yep.
And you're gonna go somewhere and die?
Yep.
I just quickened. Do you want to fight?
Nice boots, wanna fuck? And I can only say that because you're not wearing any. You know, because remember, he's still battered. I don't know, even a couple of winters ago I'd entertain that. But I have a feeling I'm not resting tonight. Tell you what, put your dukes up.
A knife comes off of his back.
Okay. No. Well, that too. That's good. Says a man wearing a sword.
Knife goes back.
There's a ripple. Pull the mana from me. Come on. Pull it from me. You already do it.
I'll reach out with my conic arm. Doesn't seem like anything that I've experienced before.
What technique are you attempting in that space?
What color does it? Is it just?
It's just rippling. Yeah,
It's just rippling like that. I'm going to reach out in the same way that I reach out with the mold earth, that I reach out to the earth.
Okay, to the earth. Okay. He's deliberately crowding you.
What is that?
Something that's gonna fuck you over if you don't understand it. Now try to take it from me. Come on, you can pull harder than that. You said you just quickened.
And gonna activate what our in-world shillelagh is gonna be a crackle of yellow energy around his hands.
He says, "Come on, you might have been like a girl." vineyards. And you feel, make an Arcana check.
20.
Total 15.
Okay. You feel he's probably something like 3 times stronger than you are, maybe more. Yeah. And there's like a, as his hair flies back a little bit, yours. And he says, now, try something for real. Don't worry, it won't get through, but you need to feel it. And I don't have any more time.
So we're not inside anymore?
You can be out in the courtyard.
Okay,
now.
good. Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
All right.
You see someone approaching, slowly approaching with measured steps, but you're so dialed in on him right now, you're like, okay, that's fine.
He's going to hear the words of his teacher singing inside him. Going to hear the wind whistling through the trees. And for the first time, almost unbidden,
And the wind answers. And you, what should be this tremendous gust, he goes, whoop! And you see him literally bend it as the wind comes up. And it just flows right into the ground, and you feel that whole technique dissipated. Learn how to do that, kid. Lady Vale. Griffin, I see that you've made a new little friend, eh? As she comes walking up, she looks tired. Bright-eyed and wild. Green-haired.
So he's just kind of in a reverie.
Yeah.
Not really realizing that she had come up and is going to look up and be kind of taken aback by seeing her there. And is absentmindedly going to step back into a kind of a defensive stance. Like,
She looks at you for a second. I'll get to you in a moment. Has your business concluded here, Griff? Yeah, Domino, it has. Successfully? Yeah, you could say that. The outcome that I wanted? Yep. Good. Some sense of order is restored to the world. Good luck. And farewell. And there's a lot that passes between these two chosen warriors. He bows his head. You know, if there were more of him like you, I think I probably would have stayed south. If there were more of them like me, you wouldn't have wanted to.
so he's more wary now, not trying to like cover his emotions.
And Griff just kind of gives you, Griff just kind of gives you a, like this as he's walking off.
He is seeing in this woman a predator. Not no one that's like malicious, but like
Ave, cousin. I am weary. And right now, frankly, you stand between me and the man that I wish to be with. However, duty compels me that you cannot continue to fumble in abject ignorance. Come with me so that you can have some small idea of what your heritage actually is. And she starts walking. She doesn't even look back.
just a beat too long, and then it's gonna start walking.
And she walks you back on up to the walls, except instead of going all the way back to the main walls, it's the keep, but the keep does intersect with the main walls. Mm-hmm. You don't know where you came from, do you?
No.
And you're not sure of where you're going, are you?
I got here.
I know. I got here too. You're on the east wall now.
It's true.
Can you read?
I can read.
What are you confirming then? The wind is whistling now. It's actually getting a little bit cold for a summer night.
And he's gonna go back to his Manai and just kind of look at the wall. He feel like he felt something from the wall, but is now like looking at it a little more closely, and like I think can see a little bit of her and feel a little bit of her
You can.
in it.
It's more subtle than some hermetic act of will. Do you think it's an empty boast when I say that my bloodline stretches back 3 millennia, and that I can feel its resplendent glory singing in my veins while I'm killing?
I don't believe you boast unnecessarily.
No,
I just don't think 3 millennia is really that old.
it goes back farther than that. But that's not my story to tell, and I don't have the time to teach you properly. So I want you to do something. I want you to break part of this wall. I want you to undermine it or bypass it, however you might. It will be the swiftest way for you to learn what I mean. Now. And she drops back half a step.
No real reaction other than just to slowly look at the wall and start apprising it. We're very close to it.
Yeah.
Going to look to the ground.
Okay.
And start trying to feel.
You weave the tendrils in there. You feel the mana rippling around your hand, going into the ground, pulling at it.
And try to pull some of it out.
And then you feel her. And as you try to get past her, you feel the person before her, and the person before her, and the person before her. And all of a sudden, you're not trying to move a piece of earth, Grip. You're trying to move the bottom of a fucking 3,000-year-old pyramid, which has 1 million tons stacked on top of it. Our lineage is true. Veritas sanguinis. And when I extend my precious dignitas into a thing, boy, I do not do so with my will, but with my civilization's will. And that is the secret of why we will all kill to preserve it. I am a steward for one generation. I am probably the most capable warrior currently on the continent. I will be gone in a breath. And I will not see the dignitas that has reposed in me from whatever my brief lifetime happens to be diminished when I inevitably pass it on to my successor. We are known by our hair. I don't know what branch of the tree you came from. I don't know your story, and frankly, right now, I don't care. But I am duty-bound to make you a little bit less ignorant than when you first saw me. And now you know. And now I've given you quite a strategic secret. She looks at you. Make a persuasion check, which is like a vibe check for her.
Vibe check.
16.
Something moves behind her eyes, and she opts to end the lesson there.
I thank you for your gift.
Valet, child. Cousin. And she walks off and goes into the keep. All right. Actually, the last thing I'll say on that is you're left to your own devices. And even though Livia told you that the Death Tamers were supposedly indisposed, there's an ache in your heart.
Is there now? Well, maybe we'll just go take a little wander, a little walkabout.
Take a little stroll. Okay. Ubs. It's good they've gone off then. And I'm going to say, Randy, that you were in deep conversation with Alba, but mainly for kind of timey-wimey purposes. I'm going to say that the first chunk of that was her catching you up on all the various things that had happened. So, Ubs, now that we've talked about, now that we act on about pig pens and bakers and midwives, what's on your mind? No, what's on your heart?
Did Toué actually change my pendant as well, or just the shield? Because my holy symbol was my holy symbol, and it had always been the.
I believe just the shield.
Okay, fair enough. So
She wipes her hands on her dress. You can see you did not marry a stupid woman.
Mm.
And she may be as nervous as you are right now.
We have always believed our entire lives in the deity known as Quailithorn.
It's a weird way to put it, Ubs.
It is a weird way of putting it.
We've correctly believed
He is.
the God and the Lord of Light.
He is the god.
Light. He's been
of
good
light.
to us. Good to us, he has.
He has been.
Seen us through 5 children.
He has.
Seen us with chickens,
And pigs.
pigs,
Family that's just growing and growing and growing.
3 uds.
He ain't the one who gave me my powers.
What you mean?
So, while we were at the island, we started delving deeper into the light that shines from me, and a bit more into Jason Tenderheart, and to all that. It was his ultimate resting place.
Light
Light, yes.
that comes from the Lord of Light.
It is a bit more complicated than that.
Is it?
It is. And I'm going to bring up just a little bit of light. I don't even know how to say this. I tried it earlier and it didn't work out.
The same way you always say it, Ubs. You say it.
This is a gift of the goddess Toué. She is the goddess of truth. She is the goddess of truth and justice, the mistress of the long rest. She has been watching our family for some time now and has found qualities in us and the way that we live our lives and the honesty that we choose to use that will potentially bring in a golden age.
Right. She stands, she kind of bounds up, and she starts walking around the room.
The very small tent that we
Stalking
have.
around the room. Marcus?
Yes, love. I'm like shaking on down like I'm gonna talking to right now.
I was fine, I was. When it was pick up stakes, and we going north, always north. And I was fine, I was, when I told you I was scared to come in these walls and dying in these walls and leaving everything else behind. Everything from the little people to the big lords to the water here. All of it not our own. And I've tried, Quailithon knows, I have tried damn hard to make this some sort of place for us. And so have you, Ubs. So have you. Even when they be stabbing you and tainting you and trying to do you to death.
It's been very scary for all of us.
You try it without some fancy lights, Marcus. And see how scary it is. You try it as a woman and see how scary it is.
You're so amazing at everything you have done.
That ain't the point.
I know. I don't know what else to say, though.
And now you're telling me that the one...
Quailethorn is real. Quailethorn is real. He exists. He is the god of light, as we have always known him to be. The power that comes through me is not his, though.
You keep saying that, but it was in his name, it was. You spoke it, I was there.
You remember how many times I spoke his name and the power ain't come? You remember when it was just getting started and I couldn't quite do it, and sometimes I could, and sometimes I couldn't. Every time, as far as I can remember back, when I used his name, it was so much harder than when I simply asked. Because, as someone said to me recently, I was giving my faith to a false ledger.
What kind of sense is that? Marcus, my heart is breaking.
It need not, love. It need not. You don't have to change nothing of what you do.
Breaking.
I'm gonna go up and hug her if I can, if she'll allow me to.
For the first time in your entire life, as your arms go around her, your soulmate puts a hand between the two of you. She doesn't shove you. It's just the tips of her fingers.
Mm-hmm. It's enough.
And I got a son who's lost and wandering. And I don't know if he's going to be coming back.
He's coming back.
I don't know.
I understand. This is so much.
Who are you?
Who am I? Well,
Who are you?
I am the person I have always been. A man who loves his family more than his own life.
The man who's been lying every time the sun rises and we sing those songs?
I believed it in faith, in truth. I believed every word of it, and I still believe it.
How long did you know?
Since we got back from the island.
How long did you know?
Since we got back from the island, it was as shocking to me as it is to you.
Reflexively, she reaches to her pen of faith, and then it's almost like it burns her. She realizes what she's doing.
I'm going to motion over towards the shield itself. She changed that for me.
And for the first time, this is the first time that it's clicking, actually clicking what that is.
It's a twist of our own faith, of our own... Well, twist isn't the right word. It's an evolution of our faith, love. I'm on a path, and I can't say no to this anymore. I have been following it my entire life. I believe it was one of the reasons why you loved me as much as you did, because you saw the truth that I have, the justice that I want around the world, those qualities.
She's backed up to the tent flap now.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna be threatening. I'm just...
I married you under the sight of the Lord of Light. And come dawn, if I have to part with you under the sight of the Lord of Light, then I will. And she turns, Randy, and she walks out. You can hear her sobbing, but she's walking.
The way I protect her.
Hey,
Ow. That's fine.
family affairs today.
All cheer.
Nothing but cheer.
Do you want to come in or do you want to wait?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I respect the restraint.
Yeah. As excited as I am.
Waste, I take it, you're gonna be in deep contemplation the rest of the night, or are you gonna get out and wander?
She might actually go to Figelis's.
Okay. So, you go out. The one Kithki on duty, you actually have to help. This is the first time that you have physically done half of the gate to open it because it's a dual lock system,
Right.
so it can't be just one person to open the gate.
Struggling probably. You're like, I can't really do this often.
Any chance I'd come up on them? Making my way there. In terms of timing.
I like that. See, there's some divine providence going on. So you see Waysa, and she's managing the gate, but you know you can do it more easily.
Hold on. Wait. I'll run over.
And Waysa, it's a reality check for you because you know how exquisitely alert you are, and you just let this boy pad right on up close to you. You're like, okay, at the very least, I need to kind of refocus on my environment right now.
Yeah.
You're going out?
Aye.
Good. Me too.
Where are you going?
I'm not sure.
Probably coming with me then.
Okay.
Okay. So these two conspirators finish. Better you than me. And the Kithki is more than happy to relinquish his 6 strength over to yours. So
String.
you get through the gate, and the gate shuts. And thankfully, it's easier to lock from the inside than it is to open. And you, for the first time, Baby Grip, you look over and you see a certain hut that's standing by itself. And you see Waysa slowly making her way toward it.
So I was just like kind of looking at the landscape, just like taking in this beautiful vista, even though it's kind of dark outside. Like, wait, is that a hut?
Aye.
Is that your hut?
No.
Why is it? He runs up and I'm like, why is there a hut right outside the wall? Are they supposed to be inside the wall? Isn't
You're on
that the
porch
point?
now.
Belongs to a certain someone. Someone that I think you actually have some history with.
And that's where he's gonna kind of sink. Like, it's, and just look over to it. It's his.
It is. I was almost going to invite you in, but then I realized that might not be good.
I'm not gonna break anything. Much. I was just kind of making a joke.
Listen, I'm the keeper of this place. So, that is my duty. And if you're going to play nice, you'd have to swear on it.
What do you want me to swear?
Swear to behave yourself.
No,
Aye.
that's too broad. I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to be way more specific if you want me to swear anything.
You see, this place is to be respected.
You think I don't respect Fingulus Neus?
I don't.
Realize he's probably, or was probably, the most powerful person to have ever lived. Right? I assume you know if he's the keeper of his hut.
Of course. But do you not hate him?
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Okay. She ponders.
He's my grandsire.
I didn't know.
I don't know if he does either.
Well, if we agree to respect the space, then I feel it's perhaps appropriate to welcome you in to the hut.
Okay.
Okay.
You speak the word, you gesture, and you are the last person in Germentum who can do this. And you feel this pressure that you didn't even know was there dissipate. Some immense act of permanized will. So different from your mana bending. It has the precision an impossible precision to it, devoid of passion.
Exquisite.
And you're in.
Come.
And you're in this smelly, cramped, ridiculous hut.
Wesa would always bring something to burn to mask the smell when she's in there.
That is absolutely on brand and absolutely fair.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to have moldering hide as the predominant smell. Some nasty.
Yeah, if you pull out some kind of herb, I can light it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're flexibly.
And you see the trunk that doubled as Katrin's bed during the night. You see his the closest thing that there is in this world to a lazy boy that's been overstuffed with all of its compartments. You see the numerous herbs that he had hung from the ceiling. And unfortunately, despite Katrin's valiant attempts, it's like an episode of Hoarders with the hides in here. Like, they're basically just pathways through the hides at this point. He got really bad at the end.
Kind of taking it solid. It's like not at all what he was expecting.
This looks more like a den to you, like an animal's den to you.
Just a quick logistical question. How does it compare in size to the hut that I'm more familiar with?
Oh, it's tiny.
Much tinier.
Yeah. Because yours was part of a complex, you know.
Was he mad? Like, kind of points at us like, this is...
You know the answer. A bit. But brilliant. And old. And yeah, sometimes I like to experience this place as if I'm blind.
Makes sense now. He came here for defense, mutual defense, but also to seek the old lion. But he couldn't submit to him. Wouldn't submit to him, but he had to be. What's that fucking phrase? A temporary alignment of mutual interests? That makes sense.
I imagine Wace is stoking the fire. Getting a fire going. Okay.
The fire, the sense.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look around,
Okay.
dig through stuff.
Gosh, we have an embarrassment of riches here. Tiana Smith, another $5 super chat.
Thanks, Tiana.
Tiana, thank you.
Another $5 super chat from Tiana Smith.
Aw, Tiana.
His greed will consume him. Lord of the Rings music starts playing. And Defiant Chaos gave us a $10 donation.
DC.
DC, and his is for the Silver Fox. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Thank you all.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her goal is, but I'm gonna start looking around, poking around.
She'd be like thumbing around for something of Katrin's, actually.
You find you find several of Katrin's scrolls where she was working on various pieces of history, various pieces of mathematics, sketches, drawings, geography, and you're just reminded again of the remarkable breadth of your old friend's mind. And how even now a bit of her presence lingers here. And what an odd relationship those two had, but ultimately quite close.
Can I infer that there's another...
I was literally just about to have you make an insight check and see if you understand that there was another person here.
Insight, not investigation?
No. This is a vibe at this point.
3.
3? Okay. If you spend more time, I may let you make the deduction.
Can you feel what's under this hut?
I'll reach out with the...
And now that Wesa has directed you to it, it's capped. It's like well capped. But there's some juice here. And you're feeling it through like what the equivalent of a thick stone wall would be.
What is that?
Mana.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Can you go down there?
I haven't tried. But there are, let's say, rivers of it here. And Wesa, she's really just sitting with her feelings of Katrin, and the time has passed, and she just kind of blurts out, Grape, how old do you feel?
How old do I feel? Odd question. In some ways, I know by the standards of the mundane, I'm still very young. 13? 14? I'm not sure. But my body, it's aged more rapidly, I think. I'm stronger, tougher than I should be. But all of that echoes against compounding cacophony of heritage and legacy and lineage. Vale was waxing poetic about 3,000 winter monolithic bloodline, which she wanted to make sure I knew that I was responsible for maintaining the dignitas of as her cousin. But even that, 3,000 older, there were dragons before there were men. Probably before there were Loy. Probably since they started playing this great game. We'll say with some slight derision. And I feel that too. I don't know. Changes, flicker by flicker.
Thank you for your honest response. And she's burning some things.
You hear a voice drifting on the wind outside, coming from the shutter that's further away from the gate. Raised in some sort of simple song. The note pure though. Loya tar, loya tar, loya tar, loya tar, loya tar, loya tar. Coming closer.
How do I feel?
It feels like a sacred chant applied to everyday life.
Okay.
You feel like a priestess is approaching.
Your twin. I don't know anything about him. But I know there's only one thing I really want. And you have it. Just thought you should know.
What do you mean?
Get to see him again. He's a part of you. it's not something you can ever get back. At least. He doesn't say anything else. So I hear the...
Beloved, is this actually an academic excursion, or is this a whim?
Well, one does not necessarily preclude the other.
Can we hear this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll peer through the...
Through the shutter?
Yeah.
All right. You see a tall, stately man, dressed with somewhat darker skin, probably somewhere from the Emirates, moving well, maybe late 30s, early 40s, with a bit of gray in the beard, but more color than not. He's wearing some sort of cream-colored robes with measured gold embroidery, enough that it displays his status, but not so much as to be ostentatious. He has a tall, elongated cap on his head that's some sort of rich material with a valley in the center. He's walking alert, and beside him is a rather extraordinary figure. A slight luminescence to them, tiny, about grip size, maybe about 60 pounds lighter though. Pure white robes, wearing a piece of jewelry that with your own oxcon on, with your own enchanted necklace on, you immediately suspect to have some arcane application to it. And since you are not Grip looking at this, go ahead and make a perception check.
Hey.
18.
The jewelry contains an eye, and most eyes would just slide right over it. But you have, because of training and what's been going on for you lately, you do have a rather macabre turn of mind in there if you need it. And you think that there's a literal eye inside of the jewelry.
Wow.
Preserved somehow.
And they seem...
Casual. Curious.
And they're alone.
Man, this one, this very small one, bone, chalk white skin with, as they get closer to any source of light, even if it's just the touch of, the waxing touch of a gibbous lucida, you see some sort of writ on their cheek, on their preternaturally smooth cheek and neck that disappears under the folds of their robes. And you think now is the time to be going on the sort of, well, walkabouts?
No, Mirza. I think that this is the time for us to be enjoying where we're at and seeing where we may be for a while. Besides, Fist Ashtiani is back at camp. There's nothing here that she's not going to be able to handle. We're not remiss. We're not derelict in duty. I just want to see what this extraordinary ley line is. That's all.
Door flies open.
Okay. and the regal man behind the chalk white figure looks and immediately there's a flare of power around his hands as he steps in front of his ward.
I would walk out as
Okay.
well, push us out so I can
Okay.
close the door and seal it up.
Okay, so he behind you. I think we established with Anika that was a bonus action, so yeah, easily enough done. And walking with them, trailing behind, taking notes on their own recognizance as they have some sort of stitched scroll book in their hands is...
You see a tall, very androgynous person, 5'10", very dark, almost dark mauve hair, about the length of mine, and light robes, lots of browns and grays, with some gold accents on bracers and boots, with a teal jewel as like a little accent. And as you look at their face, there's a little bit of melanin in there, and eyes amber. But the more you observe their face, there's a scar on their right side that leads to what you would assume would be an eye there, but there is none. And you see them.
Weapons currently?
Weapons? Ooh.
Or no?
You see a side dagger on the side, a curved dagger, and a a strange case on the back of their person, and it seems to be 2 blades, but not quite sure.
Does her eye match the eye on the necklace?
Even with that 18 at night, it's hard. You'd have to get closer to see. Potentially. Potentially.
All right, then keep your secrets.
Okay, so there's this tense flare up. Make an Arcana check. Actually, both of you make an Arcana check.
Eye for an eye, baby.
Only 13.
15.
15. You've seen a fair amount of will working at this point, Waisa, and to judge by and you do know that some of them sandbag. You know, that they act weaker than they are as a matter of course to kind of maneuver around each other. As caught off guard as that chain of events was, you don't think this guy, unless he's incredibly good at lying, maybe, did that. And from the corona and the ripple before it called in, this is a heavyweight. I mean, it was just a flash, and then it coalesced into his hands.
What are you doing?
I could ask the same of you. Is this the one who is... I don't want to talk about it. It's not appropriate. And the man looks down at his charge, looks over at you. Declare yourself, boy. He does acknowledge, he looks at you, but then... Unless there is another Sika Draco running around inside of Jaramentum.
They call me Grip. And who are you? Trying to exert some of my force on him.
Just the car Mirza. You'll make opposed intimidation checks with each other.
Does it help that I'm next to him?
Only a 10. I'm really off tonight.
Okay. You can support him so that he doesn't get shoved by this guy.
I just meant intimidation wise.
Right. So on the defensive it does, but not. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he just nat 20'd that crap. So roll. Make that roll again so that you don't get overborne and have to take a step back or flinch because of Oasis.
That's a natural one.
Oh my goodness.
So you're being
Great.
you're being hardcore, and as you step forward and you're quite sure-footed, you step and all of a sudden there's not a step anymore, and you bobble and you have to kind of catch yourself on the railing.
You are visitors.
I am. You are within the fellowship, no?
Aye.
May I have thy title?
Advisor Wesa.
Advisor, well met. I am just a Mirza. This is the beloved of Loyatar, maiden of needful pain, and the spiritual head of my people.
And your other...
My name is Mitra. Not that you would have any scribes, but I will spell it out. M-I-T-H-R-A. Mitra. I would say because my beloved here is expressing some sort of partnership and trust, as will I. I would say it would be a pleasure, but...
And they very just kind of easily and gently take Mirza's hand and lower it, like the one that was closer to them, lower it down and step around him.
What was that for?
He doesn't say anything, just continues to stare hard at you.
What's the emotional tone I get from?
Make an insight check. Make a deception check.
Insight. Oh, deception. Oh,
Unless you want to be read.
I'll make one.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's time.
It's time. I want to make a roll.
It's time for a roll.
Oh, deception. Where are you? There you are.
Ooh.
Dirty 20.
So you're getting the Yearlit priestess treatment here. You're getting the stone wall where you can't read past it.
Fine. Respect.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, okay, I know that trick.
Can't read.
How can I be of service?
I was merely curious. I wanted to see the hut. We under less exacting circumstances. And instead I find you.
I am the keeper of this place. None can really enter it.
I had felt that. It's interesting, when you're rewriting the rules of mathematics, how these things come. This is a masterpiece, though. Are you a will worker yourself?
Something like that.
Then you can feel the power of this place.
It's palpable.
That's a perfect word for it. Palpable. Mirza, stand down.
And the air lightens.
How far have you traveled here?
Very, very far away.
So you are here more than to just see this hut.
Oh, yes. We are here to decide the direction of our people before the decision is taken from us.
Make another insight check since you're on right now.
24.
Ooh.
You needed a high roll because that was a
25.
Yeah,
Haha.
that's good.
25?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure.
Math.
That was a 22 on the defense.
Mathematics.
Mathematics.
All right, so the Justicar is mathematics. The Justicar is well schooled in controlling his face, but you can see there's something he almost desperately wants to add or potentially even rebut that the beloved has stated just now. You don't know exactly what that is, but you can feel there's some sort of odd push and pull going on between the two of them right now, even though he clearly is protective.
And just to get it clear, this is their spiritual, leader. He is assisting her. He's not her equal.
There is an odd flow going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you, with that high of a roll, Tatiana, you flash on moments where an outsider would not necessarily know what to make of your relationship with Titus. Where he has stood back and you have come forward with essentially the full authority of a noble of Orn.
Well, you are finding us in a time of questioning the future of our people as well.
I had gathered that.
I've been looking at her the entire time.
Yeah.
I am eyeing Grip the whole time.
Why don't you make an insight check?
Yay! Okay, I'm gonna just.
Grip, are you trying to make a deception check?
I don't think he knows.
No, okay. I don't think he gives the good goddamn right now. Okay.
9.
Okay. Even with that low of a roll, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know he is just staring and staring and staring like his life depends on it.
Okay. Interesting.
And I'll let you write off of that 25. There is the hint. There is a shimmer of iridescent heat that rises in the beloved's cheeks as he just keeps staring and staring and staring. And then disciplined, and it's gone.
May I approach?
Aye.
The Justicar begins.
No. Stay there, Mirza.
It's... I don't know why, but... And he's drawing in breath to rebut. It's... needful. And this is the last time I'm going to let you ride on that 25. That word has a special weight in their culture. Mm. And then beloved Tristley approaches. Grit, make a perception check.
I'm also like really aware of him.
Oh, I mean, he's radiating this bone deep desire of something, of connection, of something right now. Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Woo! Come back.
Total of
Come
18.
back.
Or a total of 18.
Come back.
You see Tristley swallow as they get closer to you. And you see there's a little bit of fear. But you do not have the sophistication in your internal life yet for me to even let you roll on why that fear is there. But you see it outwardly.
No need. Why are you afraid?
I'm not. And closer still.
Why do you lie? Genuinely.
Don't. And now at the foot of the porch, of the porch steps. What's your name? Or better yet, how do you call yourself?
Grip. But others know me as Agrippa Dawnsfire Naeus. And you?
They look up into the heavens as though casting a wry smirk at the goddess. My title is beloved. My name, chosen by me over the death throes of my rival, is Tristley. My soul name is for me to know.
No reaction.
You hear something whisper into your brain, but you can't make it out.
What's happening? What is Wesa?
What are we here?
Like,
What are we seeing?
how's she reading this? Like
These two are deeply attuned with one another.
this one and that one?
And then, with a titanic effort, slow blink of the eyelids, showing you just how unimportant the interaction is. Eye contact broken. They glide up the steps.
Still just watching.
And the scent of fresh forest and home and safety rolls off of them. And it's something that only you can smell. You smell something quite pleasant. Excuse me, but anodyne. Every day.
Okay.
Specifically inoffensive.
Okay.
Almost like these people know, the Death Tamers know that they're amongst normies, so they've gone to lengths.
To cover the smell.
And then touches the hut. All right. And as we wend our way to intermission, Marcus, you sit in the tent. You go outside for a breath of fresh air.
Outside for a breath of fresh air. I'm assuming she's going to be gone for a bit. Just to clear her head, whatever.
You assume correctly.
Yes.
And you hope that you have
Her decision will be favorable, yes. I'm going to go to the one place that always brings me comfort, the pens. So
You're there at the pens. You see the pigs slumbering. You see some of them that you're proud of. You've helped refine, practice here in Germentum. And you do hear somebody, an older, heavy-set woman, not Alba though, beginning to walk up towards you.
I'll look over and just nod to her.
She's wearing a cloak. She nods to you.
Any
There's a limp.
silent tension?
And there's a limp. I'm going to make that roll for you.
Thank you.
None that you read, but there's something there. There's some sort of She's not wandering up to you as a stranger. She's wandering up to you with intent.
I'll turn back to her.
Yeah. So this is what you look like.
This is it?
Pretty close.
I'm Marcus. What's your name, good wife?
Let's go with Antonia.
Is there a deeper meaning into that name? That I can feel like a heavy weight
Yes.
used? Yeah. Antonia.
Antonia.
She touches the hood, but doesn't push it down yet.
Well met, Antonia.
Well met, Marcus. I know. I strongly suspect I'm coming to you at a difficult time. But would you be a dear and come walk with me where I can see the dawn, where I'm well positioned?
Of course I can.
Where would you recommend? Julia's Watch, Aurelia's Field, the fishery, someplace else.
Aurelia's Field.
Aurelia's Field it is.
I'll just offer my arm and just walk with her.
She takes it.
At her pace.
I come bearing a message.
From whom?
And that's where we'll pause the tale.
Tensing up.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We are going into a little intermission, and we will see what's going on when we get back.
Yeah.
Thanks for seeing
Take care.
See you in a bit.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And we're back. Welcome, faraway friends. Thank you so much for rejoining us. Let's dive in.
Candle.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
That was interesting.
got it.
Griff was blowing wind at it, you know.
Yeah.
You, Devrin, and Mohi meet each other in front of the smaller gate because it's the gate that most people would come to Germentum to now, actually, because it's on sea.
I would actually wanted to meet him in the arbor, somewhere where we could sit down.
You didn't know the arbor.
Oh, okay.
At first, so you met at the same gates that you came through, because now you've discovered the arbor. You don't know if he did or not, because he went off.
Mohi, I would like to sit with you before you leave.
Yes, of course.
Over there's a nice arbor with some beautiful seats.
Let's walk. You start walking. I said goodbye to our sister. I see the bakery. It's in the southwest corner of the city. You can find it pretty easily if you go.
Bakery?
I asked around, and apparently she is known here as a baker's apprentice, who is also an advisor. She has the ear of the Lord.
Oh. What is she worried about, Father? He has no real control here.
Do we know that?
He probably has spies, but he is Askitotal. I mean, he's not Askitotal. He's not chosen. And you put him in place.
When I'm there. Devrin, I know that you have a certain image of Father. And you have seen him in ways I have not. I have seen him in ways you have not.
I've seen him in pretty bad ways, brother.
Well,
I just choose to hide.
not enough. It is your choice. And whatever you do, you will have my full support and blessing. Just know that he is not going to go away because you want him to. And our mother, or your mother at any rate, is about 5 days that way.
I know. I remember learning about that. Should I go see her?
If you want, I would ask our sister when she is ready about your shared parent, so that you can be prepared for what you might find there.
Very well. You slide hands. A secession piece. Ivory laid with gold. I would like to play one last game with you. You taught me this game the first off.
I think that's appropriate. So, the two of you spend some time together.
And while we play, I want to give you some knowledge, some gifts, some help. You are going back to Zahar to deal with what's there?
Probably.
As we're playing, and literally the pieces are just moving while he's digging in. You know, that's how he's playing.
Okay. Cool.
And he pulls out
Right now,
a list and a quill. He starts writing down names. He's writing down all the names of the people that he's given a card to. And he pulls out a card with a white hand on it. Brother, these are people I have done my best as a boy to correct what my father has done to them. They were given... Thank you.
Impressive.
It's all I could do. I had no choice. I was forced, I'm a boy, to live. He asked me to do some things I was able to get to slip away from. But nonetheless, he'd done some bad things. This card, if you let those people know that you are associated to that card, they will know that you are the one who helped them, or at least associated to them, and they will give you aid in return.
He folds the list tightly with one hand, bunches it out, and then slides the card card inside of it.
I saved Fatima's life. She is in the palace. She will assist you, perhaps even outside of Father's ears because of my act there. He almost killed her. I convinced him not to.
And that was a long-time lover of his. Imagine what he will do to people whom he has significantly less affection for, Devon. As I leave you here, please remember, this is the end. Your childhood ended on that cutter. Here, you are now a young man. This is not a game. This is not even dodging father. These people are going to be in a war very soon. I'm not saying that you have to lose your beautiful soul. But just understand that the pain of others may be out of step with it.
But there's only darkness and no light. There's got to be hope. No, brother?
I agree. It's why I walk the path. It's why I am attempting to forge a path that does not exist.
There's so much despair here. Change is good. They want change here, do they not? They want change for the world.
He looks around at the fusion of human and Kithki everywhere. I'd say they understand change.
No slavery. They accept anyone here who wishes to contribute.
You can write this openly. The secret of the word is not against their law.
I don't know anyone here, though, but you. And you're leaving me.
Make friends. You're very good at it.
Would it be ill-advised to go see Livia? I have some useful knowledge for her for the war. It may be useful. I don't know if I could approach her, though. They seem very strict.
Considering what happened to her, it's more than understandable. And that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Go with our sister. She will listen to you if you say that you have information that will actually help their struggle. She may be angry, she may be hurt. She's no fool. Believe me. When I look into her eyes, I understand who our mother must have been. To have been the stronger of the two parents.
Yes, you remember the book.
Of course.
It contains knowledge that I still cannot read, but I know it contains knowledge from that college.
Thank you for teaching me the secret of the word, Devon.
Of course, brother. Thank you for being who you are, a guiding light to what was all but darkness. Outside of me, honestly, assisting people around town and giving them some sort of pleasure. A tour, you could say.
You have a lovely heart. I just want you to keep that lovely head on top of it. Am I leaving you to die?
Am I leaving you to die?
If so, your presence would just be one more casualty. We're facing a demon made flesh. Even Shawnee doesn't like her odds.
Why do you have to go?
Because she is the one who gave me the way of the open hand. She gave me life. She gave me philosophy.
The city here could use you.
It could, and I did
There's
consider.
war.
Debts are debts, and I cannot have my ledger skewed.
Does that have to be paid right now?
She's going to fight him now. She's going to face him now.
Timing is everything?
It is. That's why I'm leaving. If it gets bad, you can try to seek shelter amongst our mother's people, but if you think this place is strange, remember, they still sacrifice.
You think Mother will welcome me?
I think she'll welcome your talents.
Be used like my father. That's the only reason why he gave me what he gave me. I'm worried about that, brother.
Perhaps,
who knows?
Devon, you were the one act of true generosity in that snake's life.
I think there's a debt that he thinks I owe.
He kind of gets that. And he mutters to you, you're not wrong.
You've seen him with his eyes. He's like possessed by a Jijen sometimes. He looks around. Someone here?
Maybe. And you know that he has these weird moments of like uncanny insight as he,
And literally, Deveron
as he gets up.
moves and hides,
Okay.
and then starts doing cat prowling around. Like literally.
Go ahead and make a stealth check. Mohi goes out of the arbor.
That's going to be a 15.
Okay. Apparently, this is the night of nat 20s and nat 1s. So this is what happens with his nat 1. As he goes out and he's looking for the people, and this is a very aware, attuned person.
Yeah.
You're gone. I mean, you're in the underbrush. This would be absurd under other circumstances, but I guess in the dark, because he's emotional, he's thinking about you. As he turns around a very slight bend, a matronly figure nearly collides with him. So you see this well-built, dusky-skinned young man, with a tattered, dusty cloak and a war staff in his hands, with his face turned the other direction, and the woman that you're escorting to Rayleigh's field almost runs into him. And
Do I recognize these?
you know that Marcus is part of.
I've seen Marcus.
Is one of your sister's comrades. Yeah. The woman though, the older woman in the cloak. You know.
Marcus? You see a voice. You hear a voice. Come, not from where he's at, but somewhere over here, about 15 feet in a different direction.
I'm gonna look over that direction. Do I see? Well,
Yeah. No, you don't see anybody. You're
Do I see him acknowledge that?
shadows. Mm-hmm.
I slip out.
lad, how you doing?
What are you doing? Operator.
I'm taking a walk.
Oh,
She looks.
of course.
The older woman looks is staring at your brother, stares at you.
What does she look like?
You really can't tell underneath. Old, a little bit broad, wrinkled, but not stooped at all. Oh, okay. Why don't you take a walk with us? And she starts going, I think we will. Madam, you are, nobody you would know. Nobody important, but I think my dreams are still pretty accurate. She's going to the...
You win, brother. He pulls his head away.
Okay.
Even though he's probably losing, but it's okay. Who knows? But
You snatch your pieces back up. You get to that small portal around the
place the
tree.
main box carefully back in my backpack.
Okay.
Yep.
Just quietly taking my time with her.
You might even note, make a deception check, make an insight check, Marcus.
Ooh.
That one.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I told you this is the night of nat ones, and you do not have Mother's blessing anymore. So.
I got a 10.
Okay. You, because of his nat 1, so as you're slipping the box in, one of the threads had gotten loose and it snags on it, and so there's a very audible like rip as it goes in, and you see him trying to be furtive about reassembling this box that the succession piece is going. And then the moment passes. You're out on the docks. They're eerily vacant right now, with just a few souls back and forth, considering the hubbub that was there before. And you walk all the way around, and actually you're not so long ago, a couple torches ago, you had Titus and Nilishli take this very same walk out to the fields. Yeah.
Do I know that this? I don't actually know that they're the brother of Wesa, because I haven't heard it. I haven't been around
Seen
her.
him? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Were you at the dock at all?
No, he was
was.
with Lucas.
Yeah.
I was, but I was doing
going
my own thing, and you guys, yeah,
Nope. You did hear him say brother.
gotcha.
And there is a certain resemblance to them, although the older brother is significantly more muscular and more. He has a very different feel to his presence, although both of them seem to move well. And we have Mama Rogers coming in with the $5 super chat. Somebody loves you, Toby. Somebody loves you. And
So it brings you out this way.
you walk along. Do you
And
know this woman?
No, brother.
She moves with destiny. She's who I felt.
You felt her?
That doesn't usually happen unless it's some sort of vision or some sort of preternatural being. Ma'am, are you a vision?
He cracks a little bit.
And are you a fae? Potentially. And you finally come. She comes trundling to Aurelia's field. Oh, these old bones. And she just plops onto a stump.
I think I see right next to her on the ground.
You need some help, ma'am.
Oh, soon enough. I won't have to worry about any of that, but I appreciate that. So,
Very well.
look at you, new under the sun. Yes, I can see the faces of several of my old compatriots in you. It's good.
I'm sorry to look down.
Okay.
See me see her.
The shadows just kind of writhe and almost tease and bob, so that wherever you're looking, Corey, is where they're thickest, and you know that that's not correct because you've changed angles a couple times.
You know what? You see, do a little bit of light and see if you can see the face.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Come on.
Yeah, it looks. That will be an 18.
There you go.
Okay, you get a bit of chin. And you get a bit of chin. You see some cracked lips, some dried lips.
I'm gonna reach over and just cup my hand over the light.
I got some.
Ain't be rude. Ain't be rude.
I was just trying to.
I know. She ain't want to be seen. Don't try to force the issue.
This one's
Very well, very well. God.
Yes.
Mohi, for his part, just sits cross-legged, has the war staff across his lap, watching you.
I got some lip ointment for that.
Do you wish something to drink? Some food, maybe.
Some water would be nice.
Pull up my skin.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't know if well, whatever it might taste like if it's been created from another plane. But it's the same kind of created water that I caught on the ship, so.
She sips at it without comment.
I did not mean to offend. I just.
Yeah, ain't a fan. Don't.
However, have either of you ever heard of a place called 10 Troll Den?
Sorry. Have I? Not that I have read. No.
No, I guess not. I suppose we do a good job then, didn't we, Silas?
Is it a fun place?
I would like to hope so. Unfortunately,
Ooh, an adventure.
it is a place that will not be. I was mistress of it for a very long time. It is a place where a child such as yourself might even have gone if he did not have means to survive. It is a place where extraordinary children are collected and given a chance to live instead of to die under a sword or suffocation or a snapped neck.
Or a bad father.
Many of those. Bad mothers as well, and aunts and uncles and tyrants. And so, in this dark interregnum, between Jason Tenderheart and now the man who is in that keep, attempting to decide how to move forward, it fell to me to hold the line, and so that these children were not extinguished and all hope was not taken from Terra.
Oh, good story.
Mohi's head snaps up and his nostrils kind of flare, his eyebrows go up, but he keeps his silence.
I'll get him.
Use your ears for listening now. This is important.
She looks at him. That's right, child. You do have a good memory. You were there. Shawnee, the little lion, came and said she could take you. Your father would have left you exposed to die. A cruel fate, even for an infant who knows nothing else. Nay, especially for an infant who knows nothing else. And you can feel a subdued yet magnetic warmth to her smile. Hands that have tended children for so long.
I put my hand on my brother, gently, like caring.
You actually feel, and he's usually a rock, Corey. You actually feel a little tremble go through his.
I give him a little
athletic form.
squeeze, reassuring squeeze.
I was come here to ask you if you perhaps could carry the torch, Marcus of Pollux. But I see now that you're going to be rather busy,
Probably, yeah.
I know. It is not my place to question the lady, even in the most dire times. Even when the children took sick and ill, even when I was not able to save them from the sword or fires. And for every child that I was able to take to the den, at least one other, maybe two, died.
I'm grateful for the ones you were able to save regardless.
You know Marius, who lives in Memoria. He is chosen as well, their leader.
Do I know?
You didn't know that. You know Titus would.
He is too is a child of the den. You will need him soon. Here. He can read this, I know, because I taught him.
She pulls out a scroll.
I do not have the strength in my body to walk even that far, Marcus of Pollux. So here.
I'll take it.
If he says no to you after reading that, he has forgotten himself, and I do not believe he has.
So she has some just plain iron band now, thick, actually almost a masculine ring.
My mace I lost long ago, and I'm past all of that now any road. I'm sorry. I was supposed to keep it in trust for you. And I know that you'll have to be fighting and smashing heads.
Unfortunately, probably true.
But this much I kept. For what little's worth it is out here in the world of muscle and blood.
And I'll accept that as well.
There's a slight tingle, a slight warmth to it.
What does it look like?
A thick iron band.
Is there anything written on the inside of it?
Not at the moment.
I'm going to cast light, or ask for the blessing of light,
It comes.
to infuse this ring with it.
You see Rit on the inside of it glow. The light subdued. Mohi's watching all of this in intense, in a sort of strained silence.
Do I see any writ on it?
You're not at the right angle.
What's it say?
You can't read it.
Got to learn how to read.
She says,
It will come swiftly, I think. Child, you were restless. You were of Weira and the turbulent winds.
I'm always needing to do something.
She smiles and nods. Merrick would have recognized the sort of muted maternal love of one of the grannies in that gaze.
Then you do not have to wait for me if you don't want. You, though, I would ask, as a favor. This is not from the lady, this is just me. If you would wait here with me until the dawn.
I will wait for you till the dawn, with the dawn.
How many winters has it been since Jason Tenderheart strode the land?
200 and some change.
I had counted out, I think it's either 216 or 217.
I'm not missing this story.
a larger smile then, a toothy grin. You see a gap in her
He sits down, like,
teeth.
He's still playing with the cards, but
Yeah, and they're just kind of...
But he's just like as calm as possible without the cards twirling.
Well, I suppose that's long enough.
And you wait with her.
I'm gonna hold her hand as long as she wants. Like, it's just as she wants it, whatever. She feels like a very grandmother to me as well. So I'm just like, yeah, watching the sun come up, just being in the place with her, even if we're not talking.
I'm actually going to stick with this narrative a little bit longer. As time goes by, and she tells you many different tales. Tells you of these children. Tells you of some people you've never heard of. A few of them became famous and are in the land. She says that, perhaps of note, she says that a man who said he was Stevis the Bard came and blessed Tentroll Den with his song and stayed there, and she inveigled him to stay there day after day after day, singing and teaching the children how to dance.
How well can I try to recall or memorize some of this?
Make either a performance or an investigation roll. Those will both work. One is raw memory, one is a story.
That'd be 20.
Oof, okay.
Dirty.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Did it?
Write down, Corey, because I'm going to give you some more details offline about that you got a dirty 20 on this. Are there any of these stories, because there are torches worth of them, that you're specifically trying, because you can't hold all of them, you can get a lot, but are there any you're trying to key in on? More recent stories, famous people, famous warriors, etc. Like, what are you trying to listen to?
Ones that may assist in the real world. So if they're like long dead, not as much, but ones that potentially still are around.
A little more pragmatic.
Or pragmatic.
Okay.
And just at a very small, quiet level, I'm actually repeating back in her voice near my ear what she's saying using minor illusion.
Okay. Just right there to try to actually hear it.
If other people hear it, it's fine.
That's a really, you know what? I really like that use of it. This is not gonna be a memory hack constantly, but because you have the time, and she's a fabulous storyteller with.
It's kind of like the Ewoks and the storytelling.
With 2 centuries of experience, exactly. Go ahead and make that roll with advantage. So see if you can do better. Yeah, see if you can do better. That does not count.
Try again.
Hi, Sydney. How are you doing?
Not better. No.
Not better.
Not good luck, apparently.
Live television.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
just joking here.
And
Hard to beat that anyways.
then you begin to see the pre-dawn gloom yielding to the dawn.
It was the time I used to sing to this every day.
How about now?
You want to sing?
You'll find it again. We always do. You know that our mistress's loom is long in the weaving, Marcus of Pollux, but it is sure. And what a wonderful thing
I'm so grateful for it.
that you're going to see those threads pulled taut into a recognizable form.
It's going to be glorious.
I had to hold the line. All of the women before me had to hold it too. The few Bellator Sancti that came before your young lord pressed it forward. I do not know why she chose a man as a true cleric for the first time in our line's history. But she did, and there is a reason for that.
Comes from you.
I know. It's incredible to meet you nonetheless.
Thank you for listening to a very old woman prattling on. Oh, one more thing. As the first rays begin to touch her face. Would you do me a favor and put that ring on?
I'll put it on.
You feel a rising, a swirl, a dance inside of yourself. One might even go so far as to say an orison of joy. And you feel yourself buoyed by it. Welcome to level 5.
Whoa.
Wow.
When this is over, when this is all done,
and her voice starts to sound more and more distant,
I want you to go back to the den and see if it is a place you find worthy of revival. While this war rages, it shall lay fallow, Marcus of Pollux. But if the mistress of the long peace so wills it, you will find a way to rekindle what it was, or bring it elsewhere.
Well, I will do justice to our line.
My work is done.
Just gone.
What?
You have been swept up into fate.
What just happened? She just felt like ash. Like the wind took her. Weira. He looks up for her, sees Weira.
I'm sorry, I have to. And he reaches out. Mohi does his discipline finally breaking. And like ash, brother, but not like hope on the wind. Like a new day. You are a holy man now.
Thank you for being here and witnessing this with me, both of you.
Thank you for allowing it.
Yeah, wasn't my permission. She wanted you here just as badly.
Why?
Swept up into fate. You said it yourself.
He does actually wipe away a tear of his own.
Who are you again?
Your daughter.
My daughter. What about her?
No, the faith. This is Mohi, my brother, my dad, my father. You know, the faith. Are you real?
Mohi.
He nods.
You do not make up this religion.
He smells like pig. He's real.
No. You don't make up truth or justice.
Some people do.
Those liars. Unlock them. You're Devrim. You're Mohi. I saw you on the ship, I believe, coming back from the rescuing of Our Lady, and I appreciate you so much for that.
My sister's here. Lisa.
She has a sister. A brother, I should say.
And a half brother.
And a half.
We all share the same father. They have the same mother.
Taking a good, solid look.
Yeah, it checks. Our mother, their mother, lives in Teowani, 5 days off. She is a high priestess of the Urlit, as I understand it.
My father took me when I was young from her.
Where are you coming from?
Zaha.
And you're from Zaha as well?
No.
Far east of there, but that's where I was staying. I would come and visit some. It has been a long and difficult trail. May I call you Marcus?
You may.
Or do you have a title?
No, Marcus is fine. Well, welcome to Germantum. I know how long you're going to be here for, but...
Him, not so much. Me, I'm still debating. Probably. Depends if I'm welcome or not. It seems
you're welcome.
You're going to war.
We are. Well, with any luck, it'll be mitigated by a great deal, depending on how well the Lord can speak.
Without using his hands, Mohi easily pushes up.
All right.
It's done.
If you need a place to stay, come to the lodge. My family will house you. If you need another place to stay, the Kithki will probably house you too. It's just the way they are.
That's generous. You don't even know us.
Your waist is kin.
You don't even know us.
You were here for a reason, Mohi. At this spot, at this time. I don't need to know the portents or understand the great workings of the universe to know that you're welcome here.
It's an adventure.
Is that your answer to everything, brother?
No. Trust me, my kids will give it to you, so come on.
Okay.
I'm going to gather up her robes. Are the robes still there?
They're there.
Okay, I'm going to gather up everything that I can.
The scroll she gave you is still there.
Okay.
The ring is very much on your finger.
Right. I'm going to kind of touch it as like a touchstone regularly.
It occurs to you that there's no way that ring should be able to fit on your finger because you're significantly larger than she was, and yet it fits like a glove.
Pass down. Makes sense. Should we do something with the ash?
There's nothing there.
Oh, there's no ash?
Not even the ash?
No. She's gone like hope on the wind.
She was taken home. Thank you, great lady.
And what's the Bendun? What language is?
You would speak Anyali.
Anyali. He'll say, "Thank you, Ira. Anyali, for your gift."
As you get to the docks, they're a collection largely of men, a few women who are leaving the city. You realize, Marcus, and you can do this without a roll, that the city has grown in such importance now economically that at the dawn, come hell or high water, come veil or priestesses, true clerics passing down lineages, people always depart at the dawn here and come in before dusk. Your brother turns to you. All right, then.
Arlocks him too. Yeah. I'm going to miss you, brother.
Power in that hug.
You've always been there for me when I needed it.
He just breathes against you for a while, and you can, as he often does, you can feel his physicality, his presence, his energy speak for him.
Promise me you will come back.
I will fight harder than I ever have in my life to come back. This is not the end of my story. I have much to do, and I have much to change, and much to teach, and even more to learn.
You, and then hopefully we will have more stories. He gives him a smile. We. Including sister.
I don't think I ever told you this, Devrin. I love you.
Unusual, hard for no, but he actually does a tear. I love you. My light.
Is seen. Farewell, Marcus. How did she say? Marcus of Pollux. May your goddess light the way for your path.
And may she bless you on your journey. Goddess Toya give you strength. I'm actually going to bless him.
Okay. He looks around as that interacts with him, and you have a glimpse of a young man, Randy, of what he may become. And he is attuned and aware of this blessing in a way that no one else has been.
He is with you.
And he's awestruck and just kind of backs away and then finally shakes his head. Wait! And starts running.
Can I determine how? He's trying to equate how real that is.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What am I rolling here?
Insight.
That will be a 15.
As far as your brother's concerned, it's real.
You are real.
Just like the pigs.
No. You. What you do.
You're saying that I ain't a charlatan like the guy in Zahar, right? He tries to say he's a holy man, but he ain't. I've heard about him.
My father.
Oh, was that your father?
No, you think he's probably talking about Darius. I'm talking about the leader of the city. Because remember, he's made a whole cult around
You speak
himself.
of Darius, who's... Well, there's two. There's Darius, and then there's the one who actually started it.
Oh. Great.
Darius is...
We'll talk about that in a bit. We need to talk about that. It's important. There's so much going on right now, and I got to get back to me wife. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that might
Family's
be.
important.
your wife.
Very important.
Come on, let's go. I'm gonna take him on over to the main sleeping hut.
Okay. As we go back a bit.
You seem intent, Agrippa.
Nilishli turns back to face you, having touched the hut, having breathed it in.
You don't know me. Truly. You've never seen my face.
I would implore you to not question, beloved. She knows more than you could ever imagine. I would request that you respect that, young
I
woman.
haven't looked away.
The Justicar shares a look with you. Looks back. Finally, they refuse to lower their eyes, but they do glance off to one side. Make a persuasion check with advantage. Wesa, make an insight check, because I know you're just dialed in right now.
15.
25.
Oh my gosh.
This is like popcorn. It's like the best theater ever.
So,
Need to know.
Yes.
you are dealing with a highly sophisticated being,
The beloved.
the beloved. Even with a 25, you are not able to overtly pierce the veil in that moment. But what you do see is a series of, like, to get to their heart, but what you do see is an exacting series of calculations. And you've seen that look, and this is why I'm going to give it to you. You've seen that look on only one other human before. Katrin. That's the level of intellect that you're dealing with.
I have seen, nay, I have felt thy scales before.
And that's all they give you. And then they drift.
And there's actually just going to be a little bit of relaxing in his posture. Like, he's not crazy. He's not imagining it.
And then they drift away. And they come back. And then it's Mirza who speaks next. There's a bit of acid to his tone. I assume, boy, that you would like to spend a rather longer stretch of time in the presence of our beloved.
Can you please address him as something other than boy? Thank you.
I could. Advisor. And of course you hear the unspoken, but will I?
I intimidate?
You can. You absolutely can.
Okay.
I have to see this.
14.
He looks at you. You can both feel the as your blades lock. And he gives you a tiny tick of the chin, an acknowledgement that he has found a young but worthy adversary. And then he turns back to him. Well, do you always let women speak for you?
As if that would be a disrespect to me, and I try to mock his tone.
Okay. Beloved is not a woman, child. Beloved is not a man. Beloved is the single universal truth of life.
And yet, even if a woman were to speak, would that be so bad? Do you think yourself so mighty that you dominate all women?
Rachel's just trying to stifle a laugh. A chuckle, even.
You hear this throaty chuckle coming from from this apparently well-read individual over there.
This one understands.
That one understands that you are a fool. and that you have not bled for your place.
You know nothing of my place
Are you willing
or my foolishness. Cut me if you can.
Oh, I won't be the one to do it, child.
Can we get to the point?
When I speak, advisor, men die. Armies can be dismembered.
We've killed 2.
I look forward to seeing it, and I will see your prowess soon enough, I think, as he looks south. However, I need him to have some clarity. And again, you feel that word, needful, and now the second word, clarity, has a special place in their culture. And again, writing off of that 25, he looks over to the beloved, and with that statement to him, he has now asked them a question. Their back is to you now.
You may be right, Justicar. Perhaps Agrippa does need a bit of clarity. It is a turbulent situation. Reprieved. Perhaps you would give it to him.
It would be my duty and honor, beloved.
That is to say, assuming you think time in my company is worth bleeding for. Is that over a shoulder? A question, an invitation.
She'll get out the
Bruce
blades.
Lee.
They step back.
Yeah. As you see this blade come out, it turns out to be one, and it's 2 curved blades kind of forming a bit of an S. But curved in a way that you're like, how do they know how to do this? Very bewildering.
And in unison, with no communication, you see the Justicar, the beloved, both step at right angles such that they open up, and you can feel like the intent, an imaginary field of battle or sparring ring, something like that. And that is where we will pause the tale.
Seriously? Yes!
Wow.
Yes, it's come true! It's come true, yes!
Wow. 1 more hour at least.
Always short.
Well, friends, we hope that you have enjoyed your time with us. I know I certainly have tonight. It was a bit interesting in places, and next week we will have Donnie back. And I have a special show in mind for that, so we will see, because there is a whole lot going on with the young Lord of Geramentum, who is now the head of the city. So
No pressure.
hopefully, no pressure.
No pressure.
Nothing's going to change. There are no issues.
Nothing.
Yeah. He and Vale are going to live happily ever after, surely, right?
But joyous.
Okay. We will see you back here in a week. So normally I would exhort you for MVP votes. We're not doing MVP. So whatever you like best about the session, whatever you think, how much you think Grip should bleed.
A lot.
We will empower Mitra accordingly. And producer Justin has reminded me that because of the exigencies of a streaming game, Randy, I'm going to ask you to roll your hit points now.
Okay.
Let's go. Hit points, hit points, hit points. Roll high, roll high.
6.
Okay, good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
9 total.
That's pretty good. 9 total. All right. So make sure,
No.
make sure Justin gets all that, and we'll go from there. All right, y'all. As you go on about your journey, stay safe, stay curious, and we'll see you back here in a week.
Bon voyage.
Thank you. Bye. Ta-ta.